Market Square Heroes. Welcome to pull up a chair, probably the most comfortable chair they've ever given me. Welcome to the tour bus for the Carpet Crawlers with Mr. Brian Cummins.
That's great.
Brian, Peter Gabriel, Phil Collins, Fish, Hush,
Yeah.
ELO projects. Where's all this begin?
I think just music I listened to as growing up as a kid, and it's just in the blood, you know. Obviously being a Scouser, being from Liverpool, the Beatles is in the blood. But I was always drawn to the more challenging stuff. And grew up on 10cc and bigger sounding bands. And I think over the years, listening to it and performing it, I've developed kind of knack of pulling it off somehow. Some better than others, obviously, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. I like pushing myself. I like testing myself and seeing how far I can go. You know.
But you play a lot of instruments. Is there anything you don't play?
Yeah, I'm not great on a piano. I can find my way around. I can't play a violin. But, no, I'm a guitarist first and foremost. I was a guitarist before I was a singer. But I learned the guitar. I learned the drums and the flute for the Crawlers. So I'd never played the drums or flute before. Right. And I still can't play the drums, but I can.
You're right,
I get enough to kind of get by, you know. But yeah, I play bass and I program a lot of stuff in the studio as well. So yeah, I'm pretty much a 24/7 non-stop musician. Bit of a bore, really.
Second night of the UK tour.
Yeah.
What was the first night like?
We had a great night. Obviously, your first night of a tour, you've always got technical. We'll probably have a few technical issues tonight because there's stuff that in the rehearsal room you just can't practice. You know, it's simple things like once you set up your rehearsal room, because we have a permanent facility. Once it's set up, nothing gets moved. So you go in week after week after week, and it works. Tonight you're pulling cables in and out, okey cokey, you know, kind of. So equipment doesn't like that. So you find that what worked last night, all of a sudden that cable doesn't tomorrow. But yeah, the last night's show was fabulous. We had a great crowd in, beautiful place, Stoke King's Hall, and it went better than expected actually. We got a lovely response, great feedback, and the guys were all enjoying it.
It's the original Carpet Crawlers, isn't it?
Almost, yeah. It's weird. It's like the Genesis. This is the definitive 5-man lineup. Although we had another guitarist before Jim, and we had another bass player before Chris. But Chris has been the main one for 10 years. Yeah. But this is kind of what you would call the way that Genesis. Phil and Steve weren't the original members of Genesis, but they kind of are. No disrespect to the previous members like Anne Phillips either, but people call it the classic lineup. This is the classic Crawlers lineup kind of thing.
Chris is never going to get away from kind of establish that. And Ray, you keep dragging the bloke back. He's retired 4 times to status quo, and I'm expecting him to turn up at any time on this tour.
He doesn't deserve a rest. he has too easy a life. I'm here to ruin his life, and he kind of likes it.
It's kind of be like once you're a Carpet Crawler, you're always a Carpet Crawler.
Well, it's really daft because it is only a tribute band, but it is a family, and we've had a couple of bad eggs along the way, you know. I don't name names, but you know, we've unfortunately fell out with. But generally, you know, Jim, the Falconers took it, and Andrew Keegan took a couple of years out because of the family and life got in the way. But we never fell out in the back. It's lovely to have them back, and Ray's really missing it, you know. Ray's really missing the tour, and we really miss him. Ray was an amazing addition, and he looks like a miserable bugger on stage, but he's actually got a cracking sense of humour as well. So you know, he sent us a couple of messages we chatted the other day. But
while he's not here, though, how did you manage to get him back out of retirement with the Italian?
Well, 3 days in Italy. Flown over, you know. It was a charity gig, so we actually didn't get paid, but we got all our hotel paid, and all our food and drink. It was for a really worthwhile charity. In fact, some of the people from that organisation who were at that festival in Italy have flown over tonight to see us from Italy. They're already in, and to play in the middle of Italy for a weekend it was a no-brainer. But I said to the guys, do you want to do it? I couldn't force them to do it, but I said, do you want to do it? And luckily they said, yeah.
Let's move away from the carpet just a little bit. Midpoint of band. How did you end up being fish?
He emailed me October the 5th, 2007. I'd had a horrible day. I had a really, really bad day. And I went home and opened up my email, and just it comes in, and the title was from Mick Pointer, script. Because I was a Marillion fan years ago as a kid, before I was a Genesis fan actually. So Mick Pointer, and I didn't click at the time. But it was like he'd been searching to find a singer for the script project, and the natural thing was to look for all the Marillion tributes at the time, 10 years ago. And he tried a few, and it wasn't quite right. So we thought, I'll try the Genesis tributes, because he said when I auditioned Fish, because he obviously put the band together. When he auditioned Fish, he was trying to find a Gabriel-esque voice. So he heard me doing Gabriel off our website, and said, "Would you like to audition? Would you be up for it?" And I was like, "I know every word of this album. I know every nuance. I'm coming down. The job's mine." And he said, "Oh no, you can come down and audition." He said, "No, the job's mine. I'm going to knock your head off." I said, "This is in my blood," and we've been friends ever since.
But you said to me before, if I throw buns at you, you're chasing me out of the room.
Chelsea Monthly.
So when do we get to see you on stage doing that again?
Well, as you know, Mick's quite poorly at the moment. He had a bit of an accident. This last week. Luckily, he's on the mend. It's going to take some time, but we're actually talking about doing some more shows. We're playing Canada in February. We're doing some Canadian dates, and so we haven't played the UK. We've done the odd show. We played Leamington Spa and somewhere else. I can't really remember that. But the last official UK tour was 2009. So next year is a 10-year gap. I think I said to Mick we should go and do some shows. So I think there's a very good chance you could see touring next year.
That's another set of theatrics. Do you enjoy all the dressing up?
Yeah, but not in the way that people think.
No.
If people think there's some kind of connotation, I love, getting into the characters. When you're on stage, from my point of view, because I'm a Marillion fan, like you guys. I'm a Genesis fan. I'm a Gabriel fan. Look down. I never forget it. We were in Cologne. The first tour I did with script. We were in Cologne Live Music Hall. It's an enormous stage. I mean, it's 50 foot wide. So Chelsea Monday, and I kind of wistfully wander, with the sullen face towards Nick Barrett. So Ian Salmon's over there, and Nick Barrett's doing a solo, and I walked over, and he went to look out there. I went, what? He went, look. So he said, they're crying. And I was for the first couple of shows, I was so focused on not remembering the words, but making sure every inflection was right and the presentation was right, that I actually was looking out at the audience, but I wasn't actually seeing them really, because back there the cogs are going, and it kind of zoomed in on me, and I looked at these, and there was just grown men just like sobbing, and I went, I'm getting goosebumps now talking about it, and I just went, Jesus Christ. And you don't realise that the kind of power, and not in an ugly way, and in a nice way, the power you have to move people and take people back to 1983, and it's a privilege.
I've got to ask, the costumes themselves.
Yeah.
We can't go and buy those costumes.
No, that's it.
Where do you get your costumes?
I've got a couple of people. I've got a lovely girl called Ali McWatt who works for Lorelei Designs in Liverpool. I've known Ali for 30 years. She makes the majority of them. And another lady called Dawn Farrell as well, from Elizabeth something Designs. Sorry, Dawn, wasn't you for years back. And then recently the Slipperman stuff, the special effects stuff, is a fellow called David Jones SFX, who works for the BBC, and he's actually working in Sri Lanka on a BBC documentary, which I can't remember for the life of me what it's called. But he's worked on films, Pirates of the Caribbean, Blade, and he's a massive Genesis fan, luckily for me. And he made the Slipper Man for me. But yeah, you can't, and he probably wouldn't fit anybody else because I'm such a weird shape.
Well, that was actually coming down. You do so many bands. You spend a lot of time on touring around the country and whatnot. Do you enjoy touring, or are you just thinking, I'm getting a bit old for this?
No, this bit's great. It's when you're driving around in a van, it can get out of work, because normally I'm the driver and the one who's loading everything up. Now everything's on the bus, and we all tuck in, don't get me wrong, but you can kind of relax a bit, you know. But like today, we've been in there since 1:30 p.m. and I literally didn't stop shouting, barking orders, and because I'm the manager of everything as well. Till I came and saw you half an hour ago, so it's a pretty hectic day, and then of course you have like an hour and then you've got to go on stage. What time is it?
We are at 10 to 7.
We're on half an hour, no, 40 minutes. I've got to put my makeup on.
Taking on another project now, Yellow Project.
Yeah.
Why another one?
Ray Pitt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ray's an enormous ELO fan.
Okay.
And he always said me and you should do an ELO thing. And then I was listening to an ELO stuff, and I thought, do you know what? And I spoke to Ray, and I thought, do you know what he deserves in the twilight of his career? And he won't mind me saying that. He is, you know, he's retired. He's always wanted to go out and do an ELO gig. And if the only reason I did it was to allow him to have his moment and finally play all these wonderful songs on a stage, then it was worth it. But I actually think I love the music, and the amount of money I've spent on most of the stuff you see on that stage I've actually bought. There's a hell of a lot of infrastructure which, once we finish tour, gets packed up back to our rehearsal rooms. It kind of just sits there for 6 months, and then we start rehearsing for the tour again. So I thought, well, I need another project to warrant using it more, you know, and also the venues. I can go back to them twice a year then, the different projects. So I was thinking, what can I do? I can't pull off Amy Winehouse, so I thought I'll do ELO. But it does involve more costumes.
Let's go back to full circle to the question. And I mentioned the video game. When are you going to solo tour again? Guitar and a video game show?
Yeah, I'm hoping to fit it in. I'm definitely going to fit some shows in, because I can kind of do that anywhere in between my own projects. I'm just going to find a window and book them. But I'm definitely going to be booking some shows next year. It's just the member changes in the Crawlers and then the ELO project. It's took up a lot of. Oh, as well, I've been mixing the new Leaf Blade album, which took up a lot of time, because it's the first album I've done which isn't mine. I've mixed all the Crawlers live DVDs and albums. I mixed the Midpointer DVD as well. And that's okay because I'm on it. But when it's somebody else's baby, you kind of second guess. And it took me a lot longer. But the new Leaf Blade, Sean out of Leaf Blade's actually here tonight.
Oh, really?
He was going to be opening for us if we had the time, but we got a strict curfew tonight, so we couldn't fit him in. But he's kind of helping out because he's been a lifelong friend of mine. And but a couple of shows in Europe, he's going to be opening for us. So might be worth an interview with him. He's a very interesting guy as well.
European tour, tomorrow Germany,
Yeah.
all around Europe, November 17th during Northampton.
Yeah.
Tickets still available?
Tickets are still available for Roll Menders and Brierley Hill, and we've got some shows up in the northeast. UK wise, we've got some shows in the northeast as well. Custom House, South Shields on the 8th of November. Coton Memorial in Redcar, just down the road, not that far away on the map, from South Shields. That's on the 9th, and then Liverpool, the big one, on the 10th, which is always a big amazing celebration of Genesis. But Road Menders in Northampton we've never done, and it looks like a fabulous place. And Brierley Hill Civic on the 16th and 17th is Brierley Hill Civic and Road Menders Northampton.
Brian,
Pleasure, and keep up the good work. He's doing an amazing job, all of us.
thanks very much. This has been Paul from Market Square Heroes on the tour bus of the 400 crawlers with Mr. Brian Cummins. See you on the road.